Summer vacation is up soon, and since I have noticed that you are all hungry for more recommendations, here are 5 mangas, all with different genres, that you should be reading this vacation. Before we get started, if you like more recommendation videos, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment below. And let's get it. Mr. Villain's Day Off by Yu Morikawa is about a general of an evil organization whose aim is to annihilate humankind and make planet Earth theirs. He fights every day to achieve this goal. However, today is his day off. And that is pretty much what the manga is about. This lovely and endearing comedy series provides an answer to the age-old question of what villains would do when they are not working. Mr. Villain prefers to spend his valuable vacation time in the nearby zoo, either indulging in the new ice cream flavor or gazing at his cherished pandas. And this manga is so funny. Every chapter is a new side to the story and are relatively short also. His evil and gloomy demeanor is outstanding. But the mangaka manages so well to mix this with such witty humor by making this man have such a soft side for pandas. Also, Mr. Villain gets to know more about the world every time that he has his day off, visiting the zoo, the supermarket, and even the so-called shopping mall he pays a visit to. Every chapter ends up with a funny ending, which makes the manga really lighthearted and very much just a manga where you can just relax to, rather than it having a heavy plot. He may be a villain, but deep down he has such a warm heart of gold. I do have to say that it gets a bit repetitive, but that doesn't ruin the fact that this is such a very witty, lovely manga to read. Created by Sui Ishida, the author of the popular series Tokyo Ghoul, Choujin X is about a world where people called Choujin have incredible powers that cause a lot of trouble. The story follows 2 best friends, Tokyo Kurahara and Azuma Higashi. Tokyo is more cautious, while Azuma is more brave and daring. One day they face a dangerous situation involving a Choujin. To survive, they both become Choujins themselves, gaining special powers. This change throws them into a new, dangerous world with powerful enemies and complicated problems. As they learn to use their new abilities, Tokyo and Azuma must deal with the dark side of society and also figure out their roles in it. The series dives into the complexities of having an extraordinary power and the moral dilemma that comes with them. It explores themes like the struggle between good and evil, the nature of power, and personal identity. These themes really make you think deeply about the characters' choices and also the consequences that they face. The characters in Choujin X are well developed and relatable, each with their own strengths, weaknesses, and personal growth. The intense action scenes and the detailed, immersive world building pull you into a fascinating and unpredictable story. Overall, Choujin X could be seen as Tokyo Ghoul 2.0 with more of a comedic twist, but it is for sure a must-read for anyone who enjoys dark fantasy, compelling characters, and stories that challenge you to think. Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand by Yoko Komori is a very captivating manga that intertwines fantasy with reality. The story follows Tokiko, a young girl who returns to her father's coastal hometown after her parents divorced. But this town, with its beautiful seascape and sandy shores, holds a mystical aura that Tokiko vividly remembers from her childhood. As a child, Tokiko had a near-drowning experience, but she believes she was saved by a mermaid. This memory becomes a cornerstone of her identity, leaving her fascinated and haunted by the sea. Moving back to this enigmatic town, she hopes to reconnect with her past and uncover the truth behind her mysterious savior. In the midst of adjusting to a new life and dealing with the complexities of her family situation, Tokiko encounters a variety of intriguing characters, each with their own secrets and connections to the town's lore. Her journey of self-discovery is filled with encounters that challenge her perception of reality and the fantasy. The interplay between the characters and the folklore creates a captivating and immersive experience which enhances the depth of the plot. plot. As Tokiko navigates school life and new friendships, she is drawn deeper into the town's myth and the unexplained phenomena surrounding it. The narrative delves into the themes of belief, memory, and the transition from childhood to adolescence. Tokiko's quest to validate her childhood memories and understand the significance of the mermaid leads her to revelations that are both heartwarming and yet bittersweet. In Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You by Jinushi, the only thing that energizes the middle-aged Sasaki through his tiring job is seeing Yamada's cheerful smile. A young woman who works at the 24-hour supermarket which he visits every day. One day, Sasaki shows up in the store, only to find out that Yamada's shift is already over. Leaving the store very disappointed, he decides to smoke and tries to find a spot to do so. A woman behind the supermarket, named Tayama, calls him over to join her into smoking one. As bold and blunt Tayama is, she makes fun of Sasaki here and there since he is in love with her coworker, even to the point that she tells Yamada about his interest in her. Now, Sasaki not only visits frequently to see Yamada's cheerful smile, but also to join Tayama into smoking around every time he visits. But there is something very interesting happening. Although I'm not a supporter of smoking, I very much agree on the fact that the mangaka portrays the social aspect of sharing a smoke really well. There is something intimate about sharing a cigarette, but it's so funny how the mischievous Tayama tempts Sasaki with such shared intimacy very early on in the chapter. And Sasaki acting like a typical shy middle schooler. And it's fun to see the dynamic between Tayama and Sasaki. Tayama is portrayed as cool, with her long, straight bangs, pierced ears, and very bad girl-like look, while Sasaki is just straight up tired. And what is funny about this is that Sasaki doesn't even seem to notice that Tayama and Yamada are the exact same person. Yamada at work never abandons her pretty beautiful smile, while in her breaks, she transforms into the mischievous biker chick Tayama. And as the story goes on, the manga really put emphasis on the little things, like the day-to-day convos and conflicts that the two share with one another whenever they light up a cigarette together. And it's exactly these small meetups that actually make the relationship bloom into something so wonderful and yet so funny. Angel Densetsu by Norihiro Yagi is a comedic and heartfelt manga that tells the story of Seiichiro Kitano, a kind-hearted and gentle high school student with an unfortunate problem: his terrifyingly demonic appearance. Despite his angelic personality, his scary face and demeanor lead to constant misunderstanding, causing others to fear him and mistakenly label him as a delinquent. The story begins with Kitano transferring to a new school, where his appearance immediately causes chaos and confusion. As he navigates in his new environment, Kitano unintentionally becomes the school's most feared student, attracting the attention of bullies, delinquents, and even the student council. Despite the misunderstandings, Kitano's pure-hearted nature slowly starts to win over his classmates, though not without many humorous and chaotic situations. The manga dives into themes like acceptance and the power of first impressions. Through Kitano's interactions, it shows how people's views can change once they understand someone better, challenging stereotypes along the way. It's funny how the mangaka flips the usual high school story on its head with Seiichiro Kitano, whose scary looks hide a kind heart. This leads to funny situations as he tries to fit in at school where everyone fears him at first. Norihiro Yagi's skill in blending in funny moments with deep character development makes it a manga that's hard to put down. Whether you enjoy the humor or the exploration of social norms, Angel Densetsu offers a rich story that leaves an impact on you. Let me know in the comments which manga you will be starting to read first, and feel free to share one of your recommendations also. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you all in my next video. Bye bye!